Hello everyone. So, in this session I am going to discuss about the community pharmacy, what are the different types of drugstore, retail or wholesale, what are the legal requirements and how to maintain the records. So, we will discuss one by one. Community pharmacy. So, community pharmacy, it is dealing or it is an area of pharmacy which is dealing with medicines and other health care products which is sold or provided directly to the public, either by stores such as there is a retail store and wholesale store. Yes, retail outlet designed primarily for the purpose of providing medicines. Yes, then we have in the previous we discussed what is community pharmacy. Now, if anyone want to open a retail store or a wholesale drugstore, what are the site selection criteria, where it should be? So, there are some points which we are noting before opening it. Population density, how many people are living in that area, how many physicians are there or healthcare facilities are there, any hospitals, what are the number of clinics are there, because as a more number of prescriptions are there, of course, more number of drugs will sell. So, number of already existing drugstores means how much the competition is there. Nearness to the market, it is near to the market or parking facility is there, how the traffic is there. Yes, what is the income group in that area, means the people demography is poor or rich, middle class, like this. Yes, what is the age group, means the people who are in that area are pediatric population, maybe geriatric population, because more of the diseases we can see in the pediatric, geriatric compared to the young people. Scope of expansion, if we want to expand it for any other products, so the area should be there. What are the economic factors, of course, for the retail store or the wholesale drugstore. Now, after the drug selection, after the site selection criteria, there is a layout design. Yes, how the store should be, either it is a retail or the wholesale. There should be proper lighting is there, ventilation facility should be there, walls and roof should be painted. So that what happens in sometimes when the patient will come with the children's or pediatric population is there. So, we are trying to make it in manner where there is some of the awareness is there relating with disease, the patient can come and sit. So, sufficient number of wooden and steel racks should be there, wooden counter should be there, shelves for, of course, for storing the medications, office furniture should be there for working properly, sufficient waiting space. I told you previously what happens, sometimes there is a the number of patients are more. So, at the time waiting area should be required. Separate racks for accessories, there are some accessories, there should be refrigerator also. If we are putting some serums, vaccines, yes, injections are there. Cash counters, there are separate system for the cash counter and wrapping counter. Now, we discussed about the how the layout should be. Another is what are the different types of drugstore. So, there are 3-4 types of stores. One is the traditional drugstore. In the traditional drugstore, what happens, there is the entire area of the drugstore is exposed to consumers. So, consumers can come, they can see the products, they can take whatever they like. Another is the personal service drugstore. What happens there, the area is not exposed to the consumers, but the consumers can talk to the personal, the drugstore personal, and they can take whatever actually the customer required. Another is the prescription oriented, they all are prescription oriented drugstore. Here the patient should they can there should be the layout should be, it should provide a comfortable waiting area, because the if the patients are more, they have to wait. So, where the customers are expected to wait for their number while his prescription or her prescription is proceeding. Another is pharmaceutical center. In the pharmaceutical center, medicines, some convenience articles are there, orthopedic products are there, some surgical appliances are there. So, there are a lot of space available in the pharmaceutical center, which is dealing with many of the medicinal products or healthcare products. Another is a drug store, super drug store. It is in this, the area is up to 5,000 to 10,000 with a square design. The consumers have access, a lot of area the consumers can come, they can see almost all the area in the drug store and they can inspect whatever the items are available, they can see it and then they can buy. Another is the legal requirements for the drug store, any of the drug store, either for the retail or the wholesale. First point is, if the person, minimum qualification what the person should have, a person who wishes to start a retail drug store, I am talking about the retail drug store, they should either a registered pharmacist, either have diploma or degree in pharmacy, yes, or they should engage the services of registered pharmacist. If they have experience, of course, they can work in the retail pharmacy. Another is the registered pharmacist. What are the qualification criteria for registered pharmacists? They should have the 18 years at least age. They should be resident of that state because that state is going to give the license. So, they should be resident of that particular state from where they are applying for the license. Should possess the degree or the diploma I told previously in the pharmacy. This is the basic minimum qualification criteria for the person who is working in the retail pharmacy. Another is the criteria for the wholesale drugstore. The person want to work in the wholesale drugstore, it is not required or mandatory every time that he is a registered or he or she is a registered pharmacist, but at least they should have the matriculation, pass the matriculation examination, or they should have at least 4 years experience in handling of drugs, yes. So, we have discussed what is the difference between the minimum qualification in the retail as well as for the wholesale. Another is the licensing criteria. If anyone want to open the retail drug store or the wholesale store, of course, they should have the license, and the license is as per the schedule of the drugs they are working. Means, so for granting the sale licenses, there are 3 conditions. Drug specified in schedule C and C1, means these are the drugs which we call it as biological products. So, all the biological products come under the schedule C and C1 and they should be properly given. So, every record should be maintained if we are working with the schedule C and C1. So, these products could be vaccines, seras, immunologicals, yes, according to the DNC Act 1940. Another is drugs specified in schedule X. In schedule X, what are the drugs? These are the drugs which are given only on the prescription basis and we call it as psychotropic, the drugs, psychotropic and narcotic and psychotropic substances, yes. They are under this schedule X. Another is license for the drugs other than those specified in schedule C, C1 and X. So, these type of categories under which the license is given for the granting sale license, yes. Another is the staff selection. Now, the staff selection, what is the conditions? First we will see the minimum criteria should be followed, minimum standards for qualification I told you for the retail as well as for the wholesale in the previous slide. Another is point number 2, what we note, over hiring means superior people should not be hired for inferior jobs, otherwise it will adversely affect the system of the retail or the wholesale. So, this type of selection may result adverse effect on staff moral efficiency. So, give that job which is appropriate to that particular qualification and that particular post. For the proper selection of staff for a specific job, the manager should develop a job description. This is a very common point. Before any of the filling any of the jobs, there should be a job description advertisement in which everything is written, what is the minimum qualification, how many numbers, how many posts are there, yes, and what is the time of the interview, everything like this. So, job description and job specification should be there for each of the position. in pharmacy. Then there should be promotion of course for maintaining the morals and efficiency in the staff. Another is a dispensing of proprietary products. Now, proprietary products means what are the branded products, what are the manufactured products which the name which is given by the any of the manufacturing company. So, how to dispense that proprietary products? Dispensing of proprietary products required to be done either by the registered pharmacist, because they are working in the retail as well as for the wholesale, and under the direct supervision. This is very important point because we are dealing with a drug, so they should be all under the direct supervision of the registered pharmacist. There are some points which pharmacists will note while dispensing the drug. Yes. First, pharmacist will see the prescription, means receiving the prescription. Pharmacist will read it. Why they will read it? Of course, to reduce any of the interactions, any of the side effect drug interactions, are there adverse drug reactions. If the patient had any query, of course, the patient can ask. Checking the prescription. Then, after checking the prescription, pharmacist will dispense, will pack it. Sometimes what happen in the retail, there is another section for the packing. Then labeling, yes, finishing of the product. Before giving it to the consumer or to the patient, product should be rechecked again before handing over to patient. Yes. So, these all point will taken care while dispensing the proprietary product to the patients. Another is a dispensing of proprietary products, but for the schedule H and X. So, prescription for schedule X, H and X drugs should be. Why these are important? Because schedule H drugs are which are given only under the supervision of registered medical practitioner, or they are called as a prescription drugs, whereas X are narcotic and psychotropic substances, and they are habituating drugs. So, given carefully. In writing, what points will take care while dispensing of these schedule H and X drugs? The prescription should be in writing, there should not be any verbal communication. So, everything should be in writing and signed by the prescriber, means the doctor, and dated by him. The date should be there for how much time the medication is required, it should be mentioned in that prescription. Specify the name and address of the patient. Yes. So, we have to note in the when we are maintaining the records, it is essential to write the name of the patient, the address of the patient, how much the quantity the patient has received, indicate the total amount of medicine to be supplied and what is the dose the patient had taken. The prescriptions for schedule H and X drugs must not be dispensed more than once. I told you why it is not more than once, because they are the prescription drugs, and schedule X is the narcotic and psychotropic substances. They are causing the habituation, there is a withdrawal symptoms happen, and of course, after that the adverse drug reactions can happen. So, given carefully, unless the prescriber has stated thereon, there is a need of refill, of course, the prescriber will write it again. Then there is a topic called as maintenance of records of retail and wholesale. What are the criteria which need to be followed for maintenance of records? Records of purchase of drugs. Yes, if any retail or wholesale drug store are purchasing any of the drugs, yes, so what they will write in the records, they will write the date of the purchase, what is the license number from which they have purchased, any manufacturer company or the suppliers, name and quantity, how much quantity they have taken, the name, so that we can get the qualities also. Okay? Name and quantity of the drug purchased and the license number and batch number. If any problem is there, of course, we can withdraw that. So, batch number is required here. Name of the manufacturer of the drug, who is manufacturing the product, who is the supplier of that product, what are the purchase bills as a proof, cash and credit memos are there, it should be kept as a record form. so that we can use it as a evidence. Another is the sale of drugs. First we discussed about what is the purchasing system for the retail and the wholesale. What are the points we will record. In the another we will see how to sell the drugs, and therefore the different schedule in the different schedules the points are little bit different. So, sale of the drugs specified in schedule X. Similarly, in the next slide we will discuss other than schedule X. So, for the schedule X, first we will write what is schedule X is the narcotic and psychotropic. So, it should be given carefully. We will see how the points are different here. Date of purchase should be there. Yes. Name of drug means if we are writing like morphine, the patient had taken morphine, and quantity received in micrograms, how much the patient had received. Name and address of the supplier, from whom we have taken it, and what is the license number of that supplier, who actually manufactured that drug, and batch number. This is same as we have seen previously for the purchase also. What is different here we will see. Name and address of the patient, purchaser, what is the reference number of prescription, bill number, date of the receipt of purchase, and what is the supply. Yes, what is the date of the supply, on what date we have received it, on what date we have purchased it. Signature of person, this is important point here. We can see this is the difference, the signature of person under whose the supervision the drugs have been supplied. So, whosoever is giving. In the wholesale what happens, sometimes the personnel who have the experiences or registered pharmacist is there, they will sign it that the patient had taken this much of the drug and the patient belongs with this of the diagnosis. Another is the records of sale of drugs, which is specified or those specified in other than the schedule X, means other than the narcotic and psychotropic substances. So, what are the information the registered pharmacist or whosoever is working in any of the drug store, what they will write or they will store it as a data. Point number 1, serial number of the entry, yes, date of the supply, they are quite similar with the previous. Name and address of the prescriber, yes. This is very important, that prescriber information, patient information, manufacturer information, supplier information. This is very important to take. Why? If any of the reactions happens, we can take these the information from any of these sources. Yes, nature, name and address of the patient. I told you, names along with the quantities of the drugs. Yes, how much quantity the pharmacist has given or how much it is written in the prescription. Of course, it is given in the same manner. In case of the schedule H and C drugs, means the biological, if any of the biological drugs are given, the vaccines and seras the patient is taking, or any prescription drugs are there, it is important to write the batch number, it is important to write the manufacturer's name, what is the expiry date of the patient, expiry date, it is very important for the case schedule C drugs, biologicals drugs, if any is mentioned, and signature of registered pharmacist. Yes. So, we have discussed about how to maintain the records. There are some points which is needed for the recording of any of the for the sale of the drugs, either in the schedule C or the schedule other than the schedule C, for the schedule H, for the schedule H. So, in this whole session what we have discussed, that what is a drug store and what is the site selection criteria, how the drug store should be and what the area should be. So, in the site selection criteria we have discussed some of the points, that which factor we have to include, as I told you, in the population, number of physicians, how many healthcare centers are there, existing drugs and drug stores, how much the competition is there, parking facility should be there, yes, traffic should be minimum, age group means the pediatric and geriatric populations. So, we will note it, and according to that we will see which site is best for the either retail store or the wholesale drug store. Now, we also have discussed in the session about the good layout design. Yes. So, the design should be with proper lights, ventilation facility should be there, what is a wooden steel rack should be there for proper for maintaining the drugs, for placing the drugs. There should be a locker systems when we are dealing with the narcotic and psychotropic substances, when we are dealing with any of poisonous substances. So, there should be locking system. There should be a waiting area we are dealing with a prescription oriented drug store. Yes. We have also discussed about the types of the drug store. What are the different types? We have discussed about the traditional drug store. We have discussed personal service drug store, where there is not too much exposed area with the customers. The customers only talk to the pharmacist who are available on the drug store. They will show the prescription and they will get the medication. Another is the prescription oriented drug store. We have discussed most of the drug stores are the prescription oriented drug stores. In the hospitals, there is a waiting area, patients usually go and they will sit, they will wait for the their number and they will take the medication. Another, we discussed the pharmaceutical centers. They are dealing with more of the healthcare products. Another, we discussed the super drug store. There is the area the area is very much. It is between the 5,000 to 10,000, and they are dealing with many of the products. The customers have access for all of the products. They can go, they can inspect the products. So, these all about the what are the types of drugstore. Now, we have discussed in the legal requirements. This is very important, that what should be the legalities mentioned with a drugstore. So, the minimum qualification for the person who is working in the retail drugstore as well as wholesale drugstore. For the retail drugstore, we have discussed there should be registered pharmacist, or they should be engaged in the services of the services of registered pharmacist. The qualification, the minimum qualification of retail for the registered pharmacist are, they should at least 18 years of age, they should be a resident of the state. As I told you previously in the session, that the state pharmacy council is giving the license, so they should have residency for that state. They should have either the diploma after the 12th, or they should have degree, yes, in pharmacy for opening any of the drugstore. Another, we have also discussed for the wholesale, what is the criteria. For the wholesale, the person who want to work, they should have at least the matriculation with the at least 4 years of experience in handling of the drugs. Then there is a license criteria. For the license, we have discussed there are different sections for the schedule C and C1, for the schedule X, and for drugs which is other than the schedule C, C1 and X. For the schedule C, C1 means the biological products. If we are dealing with the biological products, we get the license specific to this. There is a form, after filling the form, we get this schedule C and C1 for dealing with that drug, for selling or purchasing. Then for the schedule X means narcotic and psychotropic substances. Another for those drugs which is other than specified in the biologicals, other than biologicals and other than narcotic and psychotropic substances. These are the licenses criteria. Then we have also discussed about what is the staff selection, how the staff selection should be. So, the employee should have the minimum standard qualification I discussed in the previous. Over hiring should not be there. Superior people should be placed for according to their qualification and according to their post. So, for the proper selection, job description should be there, job specification should be there, and promotion should be there to maintain the morals and the efficiency. Another, we have discussed how the dispensing of proprietary products should be. So, proprietary products means whatever the products which is by manufactured companies, they are branded products. So, these products should be dispensed in that manner. What the pharmacist will do, or whosoever is working on the retail or wholesale, they will receive the prescription, they will read it, they will check it. So, to avoid any of the errors in any of the dispensing part, then they will dispense after checking all of the prescription. They will pack it. There should be another section for the packing, there should be another section for the labeling to reduce the errors. finishing should be there, but before finishing it is very important to recheck the all products with their names, with the labels or the expiry date. Yes. Then there are another criteria which we call it as schedule H and X drugs. I told you in the previous also that how they are different from any other of the categories. They are the prescription drug, they should be supplied only after prescription and should be dispensed only under the registered pharmacist. So, they should be right, they should be properly signed, name should be there, address of the patient should be there, yes. Total amount of medication should be there, it should not be more than whatever it is written in the prescription, and refilling should be there if the physician write it on the prescription. Before this condition will not refill, will not give it the medication to the patients. Another, we have discussed what is the maintenance criteria. So, maintenance of the records is different for the wholesale and retail. As wholesale are dealing with lot of drugs, they are giving the drugs to the retail also, whereas the retail are working only for the consumers, they are giving drugs directly to the consumers. Yes. So, for the records of the purchase of drugs, we can see date of the purchase should be there, name and address of the licensee from which the retailers are taking the medication, they will write what is the license number, who is manufacturing that product, what is the name and the quantity of the product, and purchase bills for the reference, either it is cash or it is given for the cash credit memos, because sometimes what happens, the credit facility is different for retail and wholesale. So, credit memo should be therefore as a evidence, should be kept as records. Another is, we have discussed sale of drugs which is specified in schedule X. Similarly, the drugs which is specified in other than in schedule X. In schedule X, the sale of the drugs, if we are selling any of the drugs under the narcotic and psychotropic substances, what is most important criteria we are taking is the signature of person under which supervision of the drugs have been supplied. So, this is very important. Narcotic and psychotropic substances are causing the habituation to the patients, and if the patient is taking in a continuous manner, what happens? The treatment requires a rehabilitation, which is very difficult to do. So, it is very important that it should not be given in excess. It should be given in whatever the quantity is written in the prescription, and for that we are maintaining the proper record. Date of purchase, what is the name of the drug, what quantity patient has received, who is the supplier, who is manufacturing that particular drug, what is the batch number, it is very important. License number, yes, who is the patient, who is the purchaser. Sometimes what happens, that any of the another consumer is taking, just as in a case of the wholesale drug store, what happens if any retail store is taking the products from the wholesale drug store, we call it as a purchaser. So, any purchaser it is taking, so name and address of it. What is the reference value of the prescription? It is written on the prescription. So, we will write it the reference number, so that we can get, if we have maintained the data in the computerized system, we will get this is the reference number with this patient, the patient had taken in the previous on this previous date. So, on that basis we can get the data of the previous patients from these all records by seeing the reference number. Bill number is there, signature is there, signature is very important here, I told you. Similarly, I have also discussed about the schedule, the drugs which are other than schedule X. The recording of the sale of drugs in other than schedule X, the criteria is quite similar with the previous one. Yes, there is one point which we taken care. One is the information about the prescriber, information about the patient, information about the manufacturer or information about the supplier, batch number and the sign of the person who is giving the medication. Yes, I hope you all got everything about the community pharmacy, the drug store, what are the types and how to maintain the records, legal requirements. Thank you so much everyone.